let the people see what I've seen. The reason the world saw what she saw was because of another hero in this story, the black press. Jet Magazine, the Chicago Defender, and other black radio and newspapers were unflinching and brave in making sure America saw what she saw. Ida B. Wells once said, and I quote, "The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon the wrongs."
Turning the light of truth upon the wrongs. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these communities, let it give them some range. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want, and it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. I am unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle. I'm walking tall, cause I know that y'all expect me to lead. To push the message, I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach it till I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
Man, they ready for this one? Wow. May the 4th be with you, huh? Can we just talk about what we got to talk about? Because we got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, the whole 9 in the nighttime right at 9. It's time for another one of those Thursday night Danny Mo shows. And as you know, Thursday nights are always so fire. This is the night of the week where we let our head down and share dialogue on topics that may come across as a little more trivial and superficial, but highly important nonetheless. And last night's show was pretty compelling. On two fronts, actually. On one hand, I'm so thankful that we were able to bring you an episode that focused squarely on the complexities surrounding mental health in the black community, while also introducing you all to a queen inside my Pulse one-on-one named Danny Morrison, who came in and gave one of the best breakdowns on the topic I've seen and heard in a long time, along with her co-founding brother as well. And on the other hand, our third hour found us drifting into a conversation on how some of the kings and queens may have contemplated suicide and illustrated the emotional and familial damage such a dark decision would leave your loved ones in the aftermath of you unexpectedly leaving this life. I truly believe the Danny Mo Show threaded the needle last night and at the same time moved the social needle for my beautiful listeners, considering how many of you connected with the Morris Young Legacy House, also known as My Legacy House, over the last 24 hours. And I promise to continue to do my due diligence in working to bring you content that will enhance your everyday lives in every way possible. But the tail end of the show last night was a different story. For some reason, DJ Andy and our KBLA YouTube family came out of left field and took it upon themselves to ask me about what type of woman I go for. As many of you know, I like to keep the Danny Mo Show focused on the content rather than my sparse dating life, but to finally get the bulk of you off my back so that we could finally put the topic of conversation to bed, this is what I said. Listen. First and foremost, she's got to know God. If she doesn't have a relationship with God, and to be honest with you, I don't even care which God you serve, she's got to have a relationship, a spiritual relationship of some sort.
How about this?
Uh-oh.
We got that.
Okay.
What's your age range?
You gonna put me out there like that right
What's
now?
What's your age range?
We talked about this leaving the show last night.
What's your age range? Hey, what you? Are you ashamed? Aren't you 25?
I usually date women in their mid-30s. I'll be honest with you. Usually.
And why is that?
We talked about this last week. You want me to put it on the microphone?
Why not?
Here's what I told Andy when we were leaving that last night. Usually when I date women in my age group, they don't want to be on the scene like me. I am on the scene. I'm out and about. I'm up in the mountains, in the wilderness during the weekends, and sometimes on weekdays and stuff. I'm painting the town red. I like to go to events. I love live music. I love concerts. I love, shaking hands and kissing babies all over Los Angeles. That's my bag. Usually women, I'm not saying all the time, usually, in my experience, this is anecdotal, I understand, women over 40 want to turn in and, go to bed around 9 o'clock.
Because they trying to get a taste of Thirst Trap Morrison. That's what it is. Don't they say women have their sexual peak at 40?
They do.
Well, and that's what it is.
But I want to be out and about before we get to that sexual peak.
We're broke back.
That's all I'm saying. And I do love a tall woman. I do love a woman that's got a little meat on her bones. I'll be honest. You said fit. Yeah, but I like, what do they call thick fit is what they say. I love that.
Some handles, huh? Thick in the right place.
I'm trying not to sound like a male chauvinist, and you ain't helping.
A Coca-Cola bottle, huh?
Oh, yeah, the Coke bottle frame would be nice. And
so like a Serena Williams body type?
Yes, but without the white man. Pretty harmless though, right? I think so, at least from my perspective. A number of you ladies continuously ask me to pull back the curtain and let you know on my personal life and my dating preferences, and unfortunately, a few of you weren't too fond of my answer last night. One queen DM'd me and said, quote, "As much as I love you, Danny, you really sounded superficial tonight when you were talking about the types of women that you date," end quote. Another woman said, quote, "Now I know to never step to Danny Morrison because he gonna immediately put me in a box when I ask him out. I guess I'm already too fat and too old for you. Whatevs." Andy was crazy, man. And Mimi even typed in the YouTube thread, quote, "Danny and Andy are superficial. Shocker. LOL." And I'm like, really? Really? Such straight aggression from the single ladies section. You know what I'm saying? And I rebuke those sentiments, right? I like what I like. But let me be even more transparent on this Thursday night. We didn't get into it last night, but I also need a woman who possesses one characteristic that is a must with any woman that I'm involved with. Because you see, I believe that the women of yesteryear, the women of the 90s, had a better grasp on what being a woman is all about, in my opinion. To me, it seemed like the women of Generation X were the last generation to make an attempt at adhering to the traditional principles that helped in making all of our parents and grandparents sustain long-term relationships. Yeah, women were still holding down the home in the absence of deadbeat daddies in much the same way they do today, but I believe that women back then refused to compromise their principles in order to attract and ultimately catch a good man, regardless of the circumstances. And this younger generation sees things much differently. And I think a lot of it has to do with the cultural influences that women had back then as opposed to the female influencers of today. For example, we men would have no choice but to run to a Home Depot or something to buy a red light bulb and rush on over when you started playing TLC's Red Light Special over the phone. Remember? Listen.
Have a go round. I'll let you touch it if you like to go down. I'll let you go further if you take the southern route. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow. You got to let your body flow. I like 'em attentive and I like 'em in control. Baby, it's yours if you want it tonight. I'll give you the red light special all through the night. Baby, it's yours if you want it tonight. Just come through my door, take off my clothes and turn.
Or made us want to leave our long-term relationship with our woman when we would hear Aaliyah singing that "If Your Girl Only Knew." Remember? Listen.
If your girl only knew that I would want to kick it with you. And if your girl could only
all the while, men were also seeing the templates of women's expectations with movies like Boomerang and Waiting to Exhale and Love Jones and How Stella Got Her Groove Back, breaking down what women expected and what women would never put up with. Those long movie lines were ironically helping in drawing the line in the sand at the same time. And we listened. Well, most of us. But something changed. And not in a good way. I've mentioned multiple times on this broadcast that the single, available, and in my opinion, good men that I speak to on a regular basis about the state of the 2023 woman is that one thing is lacking with the vast majority of you. They believe it's the one characteristic that stops them from ever wanting to pursue a long-term and loving relationship with you. They believe it's the one thing that keeps them from opening up their hearts to you, giving you the unconditional love and understanding that you might desire. And that one thing is femininity. Hear me out. Good men like me miss femininity, softness, not a pushover, not a woman that will do everything her man says and be quick about it. Some men just miss a woman that is beautiful and still believes in the traditional roles of a relationship and or marriage. And they're afraid to say it out loud out of fear of being called a male chauvinist like I was last night. Now, I don't mean to get off on a rant here, but I'm here to tell the truth tonight, though. Are we going to keep it real up in here, huh? Or not? And this advice I'm about to drop goes along all racial boundaries, too. Because a mistake that a lot of women make when a good man says that you're too rough around the edges, you like to tell him, I'm just too strong a woman for a weak man is what it is. Basically borrowing the quote from Toni Braxton by saying, he wasn't man enough for me. Listen, remember. That song is still fire, by the way. Yeah. And by the way, about that, stop that. If I hear it again, I swear I'll take a hostage. Too strong. You've been hurt in the past badly. Some man somewhere took your heart and stomped on it hard. Some relationship ended in a way that caused you some serious emotional pain. Brutal. Well, how do I know that? Because you're using that tired, I'm a strong woman line that emotionally fragile women use when they can't find a good man. Strong women don't have to verbally say that they're strong. They just are strong. You're not even the textbook definition of a strong woman. Stop. Some women tend to come across as bitter, fragile, and coarse women with occasional bad attitudes that will never have a chance with a good man, ever. Why do I say that? Here's why. Because a good man is on point, you hear me? Intelligent, hardworking, health-conscious, family-oriented, always driven in everything that he does, and most importantly, drama-free, prefers that his life stays that way. And some women possess zero qualities that will intimidate a good man. Hood man? Definitely. Good man? Not a chance. A good man cannot be intimidated in any way, shape, or form. So stop fooling yourself with the nonsensical statement to your friends and family that I'm too strong and intimidated a woman for a man. Intimidate? Please. You're fooling yourself. Some women have a real bad attitude, and good men want no part of that. They can feel free to just keep putting that false sense of security out there. Have fun with that. Because I see right through it. Change your attitude, leave the past behind, you'll immediately change your life. It's that simple, but I digress. In conclusion, I want to say that I do see your side of the argument as well. For those women that are getting an unfair assessment because they might not be as feminine as some men would like, here's what I try to explain to these so-called good men, and I would love for you ladies to correct me if I am wrong tonight. If a man feels like today's woman is rougher around the edges than they used to be, there's a pretty obvious reason on why that's the case, and it's not your fault. We men have dropped the ball. If a woman is being accused of being too rough around the edges and too masculine, chances are there's a man in her past that refused to step up to the plate and play his role, leaving her to pick up the pieces and figure things out. Yeah, to a certain extent, you could probably point to the success of the feminist movement and the dismantling of the African-American family via the welfare system, deeming the black male unnecessary in the households, amongst other things, but those showed a lot of women that you don't need a man to achieve happiness and get through this life. But at the end of the day, I believe that a lot of today's women have a negative perception of their toughness from the same men that forced you into that position, and it's pathetic doublespeak. And I also believe that the women may come across being too tough would proudly meet in the middle with a good man that she feels could lead her family in the right direction. Because all these men want to be the head of household and lead the family, but most of us have a broken compass. So tonight on the Thursday night edition of the Danny Mo Show, I do have to be honest with you from my perspective. I believe that there's a bunch of good women out there that have all the necessary qualities that a good man is looking for. A woman that is done with dealing with drama in her life. A woman that has accumulated her own assets and is just looking for the right man to bring assets of his own into the relationship. A woman that wants kids, loves her own kids, and is prepared to love the children of the man in her life as if they were her own. And a woman that is prepared to be a man's ride or die. And most importantly, a woman that is prepared to chase God together with that man. I believe those women are out there. I also believe that there's a bunch of those types of women listening to this broadcast right now. And by the end of the show, I'm hoping that we all have a better understanding and perhaps even an expanded viewpoint on what makes a woman a good woman. Because a lot of you queens listening right now are exactly what good men are looking for. And perhaps God will finally send you the man that you've been praying for. But that's just me. All right, Andy, you ready? Tell me what you think, KBLA. What is a good woman anyway, huh? Do you think that the women of today have gotten tougher, stronger? If so, why? Also, do you believe that men are to blame for women not being as delicate or feminine as they used to be back in the day? Huh? Or do you believe that the traditional roles of men and women can still be adhered to with women still doing it big out here, huh? Is there anyone listening that has learned to strike that beautiful balance? I want to hear from you tonight. Holla at your boy. Your voice is change, your voice is community. Your voice is on 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. You can also stream us via the brand new KBLA streaming app on your app store, iOS or Android. It don't matter. That same app allows you to send me your questions and comments that I will answer live at different intervals throughout the broadcast. Plus, like, share, and follow your favorite radio station live on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KBLA 1580. Feel free to follow me at Danny Mo Show on those same platforms too. Plus, the Danny Mo Show, as usual, will take your comments via the ecosystem of our social network. Check this out. When we come forward, I got a good, really good Thursday night 7 series for the topic of conversation today. I want to try and illustrate how we get confused with women a lot of the time. And I think a part of it is that it's difficult to find out what you want in a man when you really don't really know what you want in a man. I'll prove it tonight. That's why my 7 series tonight is 7 ways the women of today contradict themselves. Yeah. And I could give you 50, but I kept it at 7. Add to the conversation with your phone calls when we come forward. Welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Danny Morrison Show on unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. Andy, we got a lot to talk about. Let's ride. Come on.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
From middays to nighttime.
Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you faced discrimination in Los Angeles? The City of LA Civil Rights Department can help. They investigate private sector discrimination in LA City in commerce, education, employment, and housing. If you're facing discrimination, submit a complaint online for free at laisforeveryone.com. That's laisforeveryone.com or call 213-978-1845.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
A lot of new enrollments, huh? Braylon, Brayden...
Monique's daycare is crawling with new arrivals.
Hey, sweetie, are you hungry?
She needs more early childhood educators.
Did your socks slip off again?
And a nap.
Hey there, little guy. Okay. Shh. Whoa!
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Man, one opening monologue. I've already got 2 text messages and I got 3 DMs already. I guess they're ready for tonight. Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, California, streaming live on the KBLA YouTube page as we speak. I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I am here to tell you what to think about. However, I'm also telling you how to think tonight. We black in a spot, another episode of the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Once again, I'm asking my loyal Danny Mo Show YouTube watchers. By the way, you guys were fantastic on it last night. Got to give you props, okay? I want you to hit that like button at the bottom of this live feed on the KBLA YouTube page. Shout out to Stacy Morgan, who's holding things down inside the feed already, telling everybody to go in there and like that. Like that vid right now. It helps us in the algorithm, and it's already doing it justice. So please like that video that is live on your YouTube feed right now, okay? Take care of your boy, okay? And before we get started, I want to ask my listeners to send out some prayers. We talked about Jamie Foxx last night. And you're right, man. You want to talk about how many reports have come out over the last 48 hours? And I mean conflicting seriously. Some have him sitting up talking, and others have him taking a turn for the worst. Here's what I know. Both can be true. Keep that in mind. Both can be true. But we gotta stay prayed up for that cat, man. Cause wow. Cause where were you when you found out about Chadwick? And it was just like, what? Even though I think we saw that coming. Yeah, after seeing him sick on Instagram and on Instagram Live that one day, I think we saw it coming. But Jamie Foxx, we ain't saw none of this coming. And we don't know what it is. Speculation all over the place. I've heard like strokes. I've heard cardiac arrest. It's like, come on, y'all. Until we find out, we just got to sit back and watch and find out if he's okay. Okay, so send some prayers out for Jamie. I put it on my Facebook page. Please pray for Jamie Foxx. A lot of people giving their thoughts and prayers in there. And there's another one. We need to also send out prayers to Teresa Randall. Are you all watching that? For those that don't know, she played Martin Lawrence's wife in the Bad Boys franchise. And we reported a few days ago that she's being replaced by actress Tasha Smith. And people were like, why? What's that about? Contract dispute? What's the reason? And there's a video circulating all over social media that broke my heart today. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's obvious she's going through some mental and physical issues at the moment. Her clothes were all disheveled and she looks very thin. I think she's in a wheelchair. I think. And you just never know what somebody's going through, man. You never know. So pray for Teresa Randall as well to find her health and peace sooner rather than later. It's heartbreaking. All right? 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Can I get something off my chest? I don't know if I can fit it in. We're going to try. I was in my motivational speaking bag inside my opening monologue last night for those that were tuned in, and we never got to this because we had special guests from my Legacy House live in studio, and they helped me with my 7 series, and I never got to this, but I do need to share this with my beautiful audience before we continue. Hey, check it out. Let me talk to the creators and the dream chasers for a minute, okay? Anybody else, y'all step to the side. If you ain't got no big dreams, just step to the side for a second. Let me talk to them. The word of the night right now is hustle, okay? Hustle. So what is your hustle? Urban Dictionary describes it as anything you need to do to make money, be it selling cars, drugs, or your body. If you're making money, you hustling. Now, I'm not subscribing to that definition, but I will tweak it into a more simple message that is much more clear and concise. What do you want to do with your life? Huh? And are you strong enough to do it is the question. Because it's been said in order to succeed in life, you have to have a minimum of 5 hustles, right? 5. And this will allow you to break the professional and monetary bank. Some can do it with 4. Some get lucky with just 1. I'm personally constructing in the middle of constructing 5 myself. I think I'm about 4.5 right now, right? But there is a way to find out if you're a top tier grade A hustler. And that is how you perform under pressure. That is what sets the hardcore away from the weak, okay? And there's a way to find out. I may have done this exercise on the show before, maybe a couple years ago, but we're going to do it again tonight because I want to know what you guys think, okay? An NFL scout, a friend of mine, gave me this analogy years ago, and I've been using it in my motivational speaking tour for years, okay? And tonight I bring it to the Danny Mo Show, and we'll finish it on the other side. But while we are away for these couple minutes here, YouTube, I need you guys to help me out on this as well. And YouTube, we can get it going on the other side. I want you to think for a second, who are the top 5 NFL quarterbacks in the league today? Your opinion, whatever you think, we'll write them down. I want you to tell me who you think the top 5 NFL quarterbacks are in the league today. And there's a relevance to the reason I'm asking you this question, okay? We'll break it down on the other side. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, I will finish this exercise. We will also get into the 7 series that Stacy says she's already waiting for, which I appreciate. Phone lines are ablaze. We got a great broadcast. No Pulse One-on-One tonight. It's just me and you, and we got some bomb content and some bomb updates as well. This is the Thursday night edition of the Danny Morrison Show. KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about right now. Just your news and traffic. Check it.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In a preemptive move, African-American St. Louis, Missouri Circuit Attorney Kimberly Gardner says she will resign, effective June 1st. St. Louis Today says the move comes after weeks of heavy pressure from Missouri lawmakers to step down. In a letter to Governor Mike Parsons, Gardner said she'd rather resign to prevent the state legislature from passing a bill that would strip her of most of her power and permanently remove the right of every St. Louis voter to elect their circuit attorney. The embattled Gardner was facing a lawsuit from Attorney General Andrew Bailey, who was suing to remove Gardner for neglecting her work and not doing her job. Adolphus Pruitt, head of the St. Louis NAACP, told the outlet, quote, "We just witnessed a modern-day lynching. Governor Parson will appoint Gardner's replacement. Gardner became St. Louis's first black circuit attorney when she was elected in 2017. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
We begin top story with late breaking news.
Is it going to succeed, yes or no?
I think it's going to succeed. It's going to succeed.
Can you believe it?
Y'all did it!
KBLA Talk 1580 is about to celebrate its 2nd anniversary on Juneteenth, and no terrible twos around here. We couldn't be more excited about all the good news we'll be announcing soon, including the launch of some new shows to keep giving you more of what you've been looking for.
Come on!
Smart radio for smart people. Hey, it's our celebration. but you get all the gifts. We'll be giving away fresh merch, swag bags, and a chance for you to join the private invitation-only, star-studded music and dance till you drop, food and drink galore second anniversary celebration. To stay in the know about the second anniversary details, download the KBLA Talk 1580 app right now. Don't miss out on your chance to be a winner. At KBLA Talk 1580, when we come forward, we're bringing everybody with us.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Hi, it's Lynn Richardson with the Millionaires Roundtable. Have you heard about Lendistry? Come on now. Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA. That's LENDISTRY.com/KBLA to learn more and get started with an application right on the website.
Congratulations to One United Bank for being this week's winner of KBLA's Office of the Week. Your office won lunch for 10, delivered by the original Taco Pete. Congratulations to One United Bank.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
What you do to me?
We gonna make some babies tonight. Let's go. Come on.
Quietly, your silhouette approaches me. A vision far too lovely to define. Hey, yeah. Tenderly, you take complete control of me. The feminine seduction of body, soul, and mind. Yeah. Touch me and I feel your femininity. Touch me, girl, you're the lady women want to be. Softly, you move when
checking out the Danny Morrison Show, your slow jam show of the night. KBLA Talk 1580, The Quiet Storm. I told you I used to host a show called Between the Sheets back in the day. Between the Sheets. And all these young Latinas used to call me because, Central Cali, Kern County is very Latino heavy. So little Latinas used to call me.
I like to give a dedication to Hector and tell him he's in Delano right now and I love him. Can you tell him, Danny? Can you do that for me?
I used to read those dedications all night.
I like to give a dedication to Sleepy Ice.
Like, what? Sleepy Eyes. Okay. How do you spell that? E-Y-E-Z. It's always got a Z on it, too. Sounds good. But right now, I'm giving you a piece of my motivational speaking right now that I didn't get to do last night. And I'm proving what is a top-tier grade A hustler is how you perform under pressure. So I'm asking you and the YouTube feed, people are already chiming in with their 5. I want you to give me the top 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL. Andy, what you got?
So I got more than 5.
Just give me 5, man.
I can't. Can I just give you more than 5?
Go ahead.
All right. Because this was kind of tough.
Is it?
Low key.
I don't think it is anymore. I think a couple are falling off that you might have on the list.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got 9.
Jesus. All right, go ahead.
Lamar Jackson.
No doubt.
Matthew Stafford.
I don't have him on that list, no doubt.
Only reason why, it's LA Rams. He won a Super Bowl.
He had a terrible year last year, but go ahead.
Justin Herbert.
I don't have him on the list either.
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't have him on there anymore. After last year, you can't have him top 5.
He's still an elite quarterback.
I can get you top 5.
He didn't have the pieces around him.
Okay.
But this coming season.
Okay. We shall see.
Joe Burrow.
No doubt.
Josh Allen.
No doubt.
Jalen Hurts.
That's right on the cusp.
On the cusp? A man that went to the Super Bowl?
I'm going to give you my top 5 when you're done. Go ahead.
Don't be mad at me.
Go ahead.
Jared Goff.
You're crazy.
Don't disrespect Jared Goff,
Goff
man.
is not top. I know you're a Rams guy. He's not a top 5 guy. You know this.
And, of course, Pat Mahomes.
All right, my top 5. Okay, number 1 is Pat Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the league. Has been for the last 3 years. So, Josh Allen is number 2. Joe Burrow is number 3. I think Lamar Jackson, I'd put at number 4.
Okay.
I got Jalen Hurts at 5. Okay. Tell me that's not a bomb top 5.
That's great.
I think that is the top 5.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of youth right there.
I think that's where the league is finally headed. I think Aaron Rodgers is outside that right now.
Okay.
That being said, what sets those 5 quarterbacks apart from everybody else? Because they all played Jack Frost, right? They were all likely the best in high school and college. That's how they made pro. They all have coaches and facilities and regular practices, but what sets these 5 apart from the other 27 starting quarterbacks? Does anybody know? Do you know? Huh? Does anybody know? Anybody in YouTube feed? I'm going to tell you. They can sit in that pocket and throw. And I know that sounds simple. They can sit in the pocket and focus. When the defensive line's crashing down on them, they can drop back, remain poised, boom. Hit that wide receiver running up on the sideline, boom. Hit that cat right in the numbers, right? They remain poised without panic. And when they're about to get smashed, they can still follow through and connect with that wide receiver on the sideline, regardless of what's coming. When that defensive end comes, boom. You ever seen any of them cats with happy feet? They sit up in there, and they'll take that hit.
Can you repeat that 5 one more time?
My 5?
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts.
You sure about Lamar Jackson?
I am, although he's the weakest one on the list.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
But now, apply that analogy to your own life, though. Can you perform when life is crashing down on you? Relationship breakups, kids acting up, internal family struggles, friend betrayals, health issues, car problems. Can you perform regardless of the walls closing in on you? Because here's what I'm disappointed with. I'm disappointed with seeing people that verbally and on social media proclaim that they know exactly what they want to do with their lives, but their actions say otherwise. I'm disappointed with people that approach me with, like, especially the musical artists, man, hitting me up out of L.A. since I got here to L.A. They want to come here on the show. We were thinking about doing that eventually. About wanting to be put on, but when simple tasks are requested of them, they find every excuse not to follow through, knowing that being a local hero and a ghetto superstar, it's just enough for them. I'm also disappointed with people asking for advice on how they can break through and finally achieve their dreams, but are willing to step on the neck of anyone that assisted them in reaching the highest of heights, burning multiple bridges along the way. Okay? Because here's a newsflash. me having to work 12 hours a day like I do. My creative brain only allowing me to sleep 4 to 5 hours a night. Me plotting and planning and strategizing, meeting with people constantly to continue constructing my long-term goals. Me navigating through every single day to keep everything and everyone satisfied. That is a part of my life, personal and professional, by the way. And lastly, me making sure that I don't stop hearing the voice of God just because the activity gets too loud. I'm getting what I've prayed for. And being here in Los Angeles is one of my prayers for sure. So what do you want to do? Do you have what it takes? Are you man or woman enough to succeed? And are you willing to work hard and make the necessary sacrifice to make your personal dreams come true? Or are you just blowing smoke to all those around you because you know that you're talented, but you lack the drive and the focus to achieve the hustle? Your destiny belongs to you. You can do whatever you want to do with your life. Anything. But you got to stop making excuses for your laziness. Making it means that you are living off of the talent that you were born to do, and you already got the talent. People think making it is 6 figures or you sell 1 million copies. Mine is very simple. Making it is living off of the talent you were born with. That's making it. And it's true what they say, hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Every single time. And even Abraham Lincoln said, things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. Get it done or someone else will. I promise you. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Let's get Damien real quick. Damien calling in. I know you want to chime in on this. Give me your height, your color, and your hood, King.
This is Damien. What's up, Danny? Calling in from Covina 55 milk chocolate. You know what it is.
Covina checking in. Drop that. Come on. Yeah. Is there a difference between Covina and West Covina?
Yeah, they're two different cities.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm still learning. I just got here. So, so you want to talk about good woman, or you want to talk about talent beats or hustle beats talent? What you want to talk about?
Regarding hustle beats talent, man, you just put the finishing touch on it. So I mean, enough said. Hashtag enough said. You killed it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, and I have to say too, man, these topics you've been coming up with lately, and I'm sure everyone in the chat, in the comments on all platforms would agree, man. It's just fire after fire after fire. So keep doing what you're doing, my brother.
I appreciate that. I'm getting some amazing feedback from the listeners, man. It means everything to me. And when I get brought gifts right here at the front door, I know I'm doing all right. I'm like, wait, man, we must really be doing well. If a young lady gonna drive all the way down there and bring me a gift, man, even though I still ain't seen them Janet Jackson tickets, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. Damien, what's on your mind? I appreciate it, though.
So I know this is pretty much one of those never-ending topics of discussion, especially in, today's society, but I came up with 4 of my own quick points that I feel defines a good woman in 2023. So the first one is a woman who is a lover of God, not only by the way she lives, but by the way she empowers others around her to live.
All right, Damien, hold that thought. Damien's got a 4 series. I like it. Tell me on the other side, okay?
Yes, sir.
1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. We talk about good women on the other side. Danny Mo Show, Thursday night, KBLA. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Accuser of Emmett Till dead at 88. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Lendistry. Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the woman responsible for Emmett Till's kidnapping and later killing, dies at 88 to a long battle with cancer. In 1955, 14-year-old Till walked into a store where Dunham worked. She accused Till of making improper advances at her, which has since been confirmed a lie. Till's murder was so brutal and unjust, his mother made it a point to tell his story. Thus, his death a catalyst for the civil rights movement.
Thanks to our new sponsor, Lendistry. Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lendistry helps small business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com/KBLA today.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying when they really can't speak. She says her gums have been bleeding. Is there anything you can do? Absolutely. You can try new Crest Gum Detoxify and Restore. Yep, new Crest Gum Detoxify and Restore is professionally designed to start healing gums from day one. Right. Healthy gums, healthy mouth.
Crest Gum Detoxify and Restore. Smile. Crest has you covered.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580 is in the lab right now, prepping some new shows coming your way soon. More empowerment, more inspiration, more entertainment.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jazz Urbane Hour. I'm your host, Bill Banfield. We are a curated musical show that highlights contemporary cultural issues and artistry, showcasing music as a relevant and necessary arm of contemporary cultural identity.
You must learn. Welcome. I am your host, Dr. Tyrone Howard on KBLA Talk 1580, and you're listening to You Must Learn, where we talk about education as a tool for transformation. Education in our homes, in our schools, and in our communities. Education for transformation is the tagline, and we are here to talk about why we must learn.
KBLA Talk 1580 is for discerning listeners just like you. So tell all your friends you've discovered the talk station curating smart content for smart people. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got you black. Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
By the way, coming up at the top of the hour, we have no post one-on-one guests tonight. I want to extend the conversation on a few topics that literally just materialized today, and one that I still cannot believe, by the way. I also want to continue this good woman discussion and bring you some, upon further review, clips as well. Open phone lines, open DMs, and as always, open feed on the KBLA YouTube page. It's a freestyle Danny Mo show tonight, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Speaking of YouTube feed, Mimi has blasted me in there. Talking about, Danny, I curated a QB list per your request. Are you going to read it or what? LOL. She said, number 1, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Jalen Hurts. 3, Lamar Jackson. 4, Russell. Russell Wilson is not top 5 anymore after that putrid season he had last year. Terrible. And he ain't even top 15. Are we going to keep it real up in here?
We'll see this coming season.
Terrible. And even his old teammates are blasting him in Seattle saying, you know what? He's been a prima donna the entire time. We've been doing all the work. They said they couldn't even talk to him. Wow. But, you know, he got Sierra on his arm, so I guess it's okay.
Exactly.
And number 5 is Trevor of Jaguars, because the Jacksonville Jaguars are my home team. Trevor Lawrence is his name, by the way. Let's get back to the phones, though. Damien, I got 2 minutes. I got to get to this 7 series. Give me your 4 list, and we may piggyback off of that.
Okay, so you got the first one right.
Repeat that one more time.
Okay, so the first one is a woman who is a lover of God, but not only by the way she lives, but by the way she empowers others around her to live.
Whew, I love that.
The second one is a woman who cares more about keeping her family together more than she cares about keeping her social media audience engaged.
Woo, love it.
Number 3, I have a woman who trusts her man enough to let him lead, even when his leadership may cause her to doubt his very ability to lead.
Okay, repeat that second half of that one more time.
A woman who trusts her man enough to let him lead, even when his leadership may cause her to doubt his very ability to lead. Because some women, they will tell you vocally that their man is a good leader, but then turn around and not let him lead.
Yeah, but if he's leading them down the wrong path, should she still be sticking by her man? I don't know.
Well, then he got issues on a bigger level.
All right, number 4. What you got?
And so number 4 is a woman who has enough dignity within herself to care about how she carries herself in the eyes of society.
That right
she
there.
Doesn't,
Woo, go ahead.
She doesn't feel the need to do things for attention, but because she respects herself and understands her worth, she's an asset to a relationship rather than a liability.
Give that call of the night right there. See, some women would say you trying to be controlling when you say that last one. I can act however I want to act. I ain't got to represent myself based on what he says. How you feel about that, though?
To each his own, but I mean, if we can't have compromise and if you can't let me stay in my role to lead as a man is supposed to do, then we don't have no business together anyway.
Facts. I appreciate you, King. I got to get to this 7 series. Appreciate you chiming in.
Keep up the good work, my brother.
I will. I'll try. God willing. All right, Andy, let's jump right into the 7 series. Let's go. Come on.
One topic, 7 answers. It's time for the 7 series on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
7 ways the women of today contradict themselves. You want to add to the discussion? You know how we put it down for the town. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. 7 ways the women of today contradict themselves. Number 1, I want a man that treats me right. Then a nice guy gets your attention and you claim that he's too nice and you want a little more thug in a man. Typical. Women need to understand that a man that treats you right is probably not going to be gangster material. You know how I know this? Name a couple you know that has a thug in it that has been in a healthy relationship for 10 plus years. Take your time. Exactly. It doesn't exist. Stop making nice guys finish last out here. And that's the first way women of today contradict themselves. Here's number 2. I want a real man with a real nice body. Really? Well, probably rocking a lace front wig right now. Yeah. While got some fake eyelashes on right now. Some fake nails right now. Some undersized Spanx on right now. You ever seen those things, man? Spanx. Fooling us out here. And the fish lips. And the poked out butt in the bathroom mirror. We see it all. Twice. 3 times. Okay. But there's a lot of cats out here with a nice physique. Muscles, abs, the whole 9. He's got a real nice body, but will you show him the real side of you? And how long into the relationship will he have to wait to see it is the question. And that is the second way the women of today contradict themselves. Here's number 3. I need a man that's going somewhere. He got to have ambition. That's fair. But ain't you working the fryer at KFC right now? What are you talking about, huh? Really? Didn't you just pawn your watch, your bracelet, and your necklace at the local pawn shop? Really? Have you paid back that payday loan yet? Huh? Have you? The only thing arranged in your life is your payment arrangement with AT&T right now. Come on now. Stop. You can't ask for something that you can't deliver yourself. Get you a man that's on your level and build together, because it's not a good man's job to rescue you. And that is the third way the women of today contradict themselves. Here's number 4. I need a man that can focus on one woman and one woman only. Interesting. While you out there flirting with your ex right now, while you occasionally sleep with the father of your children's, keep it real up in here. While you post pics and flirt with men on social media all day and every day like Damien was just talking about, huh? A good man will come in and give you exactly what you need, but will you be able to change your ways immediately and focus on that one man, though? That's the question. And that is the 4th way the women of today contradict themselves. Here's number 5, okay? I need a man I can trust. While you're looking through his phone right now, while you are checking through his DMs right now, while you show pure hatred to his female friends every single time you meet him, you want to trust a man, but you can't because of past pain. You need a man you can trust, but continue to push good men away because you keep throwing your ex's head on the next man's body every single time. In order to trust somebody, you have to eventually let that go. You got to move on. And it's not the new man's job to make you forget, like some women try to ask us. It's your job to make me move on. No, it's not. That's your job. And it's also the 5th way the women of today contradict themselves. Here's number 6. I want to settle down. Do you? Do you? While still hitting the clubs every single weekend with your girls. Do you? While still drinking like a fish. Do you? Huh? While still smoking weed at your friends' parties. Do you? Really? Newsflash. No good man wants that woman. Y'all want to hear it? I'm giving you the truth tonight. No good man wants that woman. None. A good man wants a woman he can build with. A good man wants a woman that he can chase God with. A good man also wants a woman he can have around his kids and take over to meet his family. If you are still in party mode, gone. Do you, boo. It's all good. But don't waste the time of men out here that are serious and you're not ready. And it shows. And that is the 6th way the women of today contradict themselves. And here's number 7. Women just want to be treated equally as men. Do you? Of course you do. As you should, by the way. Come on now. I'm all about equality. It's a beautiful thing. Unless you talk about dating, though, huh? That's when the rules change, yeah. Men should ask her out. Men should pick her up. Men should choose the restaurant. Men should open doors. Men should pay the bill. Yeah, so much for equality, right? All of a sudden. Yeah, I agree with the man being a gentleman and chivalrous with a young lady, but let's keep it real up in here. You love traditional dating practices when that bill comes to. All of a sudden, you want that gentleman, huh? All of a sudden, you are all for chivalry that night, huh? We talked about, who did we talk about that with on the mic recently? We were talking about, so we're gonna split the bill then. Who were we talking to? Was it Aisha? We had that conversation, though. All of a sudden. And that is the 7th and final way the women of today contradict themselves. How's that? YouTube, I guess, is going crazy with it. Let me see. Muffet Nellen said they discovered the identity of the New York City subway strangler. Good. We're going to talk about that next week. Andy?
What was your number 6?
Number 6 was, I want to settle down. And out there, partying with her girlfriends, want to be in the club all the time, smoking weed, drinking, and the whole 9. I'm sorry. A good man, and I'm not saying a man, a good man don't want that woman.
Could you equate that to what you were talking about last night?
What is that?
Like being on the scene?
Being on the scene?
You talked about how you like to be on the scene, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. But how do you act when we get on the scene?
So that's what you're separating.
Here's where you and I are always going to disagree. I can't rock with a woman that smokes weed.
That's cool.
You're okay with it.
I'm okay with it, yeah.
It's not my thing.
I respect that.
But I also don't want a woman that can't handle her liquor. I don't mind a woman that drinks. Mm-hmm. But if we go out and you always got to get inebriated, intoxicated, and stumbling, I'm probably not the guy for you.
If it's always, I'm with you. But, every person has their bad days.
I disagree with that.
So you're going to dock her for one bad moment.
I disagree. I think that, male and female, this ain't just a woman thing, should know your limits. You should know your limits. You know how many drinks you can and cannot have. And you can't be out in public. My woman, Janet Jackson, my woman has me on her brain when she out like, I can't be out acting a fool because I don't want to make Danny look like a fool. You don't think that's fair? And it goes both ways. I'm not just saying my woman.
I just think one slip up is okay. Because you could be drinking different things and you just don't know how you're gonna react to certain things.
Yeah, and that one slip up lands her in bed with somebody accidentally. Seen that happen too, by the way. Seen that happen. I was drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, man, if you gotta leave that woman. Come on, go. I didn't know. You drove all the way to the hotel. I didn't know. Okay, you didn't know. You paid for the room. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we got some updates to get into. We got some clips about good women that I want to get into. We got Upon Further Review clips. We got phone calls. We got YouTube clips, YouTube feed, the whole 9. Danny Morrison Show, Thursday night. KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. News and traffic. Stay there.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Julius White. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In a preemptive move, African-American St. Louis, Missouri Circuit Attorney Kimberly Gardner says she will resign, effective June 1st. St. Louis Today says the move comes after weeks of heavy pressure from Missouri lawmakers to step down. In a letter to Governor Mike Parsons, Gardner said she'd rather resign to prevent the state legislature from passing a bill that would strip her of most of her power and permanently remove the right of every